What's up everybody, it's Robin Gaming here. So, pre-order bonuses have hit an all-time low. I was kind of, I kind of realized it's both hilarious yet sad at the same time when you read it. Kotaku published this article just yesterday where they made people aware of the way EA is currently promoting the new Need for Speed game, which is of course called Payback, comes out at the end of this year. Yeah, at the moment they're heavily promoting it and making sure that you're pre-ordering the game right now, and the way they're trying to win you over to do that is by a couple of really what they think, I guess, are valuable pre-order bonuses. One is a platinum car pack for the game, and then the second thing, and it's really highlighted heavily in all of this promotional material, is that you will be able to get exclusive tire smoke for your cars. I'm not kidding, exclusive tire smoke for your car in Need for Speed by pre-ordering the game. I don't necessarily think if it's like an all-time low for pre-order bonuses per se, because I saw some people in the comment section talk about that there was this like Sonic game or whatever that came out just a few years ago that promised you or pretty much got you 25 extra lives for pre-ordering the game in advance. It's kind of ridiculous, I've never really seen the point in pre-ordering games personally, and the reason why is because ultimately what it comes down to is pre-ordering is just a tactic for you to spend your money in advance without even knowing if the game is actually going to be good or not yet. Yeah, but it's just nice for the publisher, of course, because they'll already have your money, in the first place, and they don't even really have to make sure that the game then, the more pre-orders they get, the less they have to make sure that the game is going to be, the best it can be, so people will actually pick it up and first watch the reviews for it and stuff. You could think of like some other reasons, maybe being that games would be out of stock or something, that's why you pre-order them, but I never understood those reasons, because games don't really get out of stock, even the physical copies. If you buy a game physically in stores or something, then there's a very low chance that the store will run out of copies, and if they do, you can probably still get access to the game in a different store, close to it. So like, game stores never really run out of physical copies for many games. I at least don't see that happening a lot, and if they do, right now every game is also being sold digitally, so it's just not a reason. If you really want to play that game, you could always still pick it up digitally. And I know that, some people simply prefer physical copies, but do you really prefer it that much to the point where, it's that big of a deal breaker? I don't really think so personally. Yeah, you've got these pre-order bonuses, and what I think is kind of crazy to see is that people actually find it worth it. I saw my own, little brother who desperately wanted to pre-order the new FIFA game just so he could get access to a couple of card packs or something like that. And, it's very comparable to me to microtransactions. I think a lot of the bonuses that are offered are actually very similar to what microtransactions offer you. It's cosmetic stuff that doesn't affect gameplay at all, that isn't actually, extra content most of the time. No, it's just, it's these skins for your weapons of stuff like that, cosmetic visual stuff that doesn't affect gameplay in the slightest. And I don't understand that people spend their money on it. Of course, it's people's own choice, and I'm not gonna speak against it, but I'm just, well, I'm not gonna tell them not to do it, but this is the way I personally feel about it. You see that people end up sometimes being disappointed in certain games, right? I mean, people all the time talk about, with Need for Speed, how some games were absolutely epic and their childhood games, and then some disappointed them heavily, like Most Wanted being a classic, and then you had that game, I think The Run or something, or maybe a different one, that people looked at as being just garbage, kind of, you know what I mean? And people pre-ordered Mafia 3, people pre-ordered No Man's Sky, and I tried to warn them in advance as well with those. I remember with No Man's Sky for sure, I tried to warn people, and I was heavily, my videos were heavily disliked because I was saying, just wait for the reviews. I'm not saying you can't be excited for the game, but wait for the reviews. Don't immediately spend that $60. I don't think it's going to be worth it. Well, guess what? For most people, it turned out not to be worth it. Both games heavily disappointed and weren't of the quality that they were made out to be, or kind of like hyped up to be, right? Also with the price tag and with the fact that there was so much promotional material telling you how awesome it was going to be, and it turned out not to be like that at all. My advice is, you really don't need to pre-order stuff. The only stuff you should pre-order, in my opinion, is the stuff where you run, you could actually, stores could actually run out of copies for it. Maybe if you want to get a special edition or a collector's edition for a game, then that's something worth pre-ordering. If it's a certain console, like the mini SNES right now that Nintendo announced, already they're gonna have a limited supply for that. That's the way Nintendo handles things. You better make sure to actually pre-order that, and you also know what to expect expect exactly for that, right? And for some of these games, for example, where you want to get the special edition, these are games that you're very close to, that you're attached to, that you want to play the game regardless, even if it turns out to be trash, and even if it is unlikely for that too, you'd want to play it because it's a series you're really attached to and you just want to play everything off, right? Then I guess it's fine, but ultimately, you know, with Need for Speed and many of the third-party games, it's kind of these situations where some games will end up being really good, some games will end up being disappointing to people, where maybe it's a better choice to just wait for a sale. You know, is a pre-order bonus like exclusive Tiresmoke really gonna make you spend that $60, where ultimately it may end up being a disappointment for you? I wouldn't really recommend it. Anyway, that's just, you know, that's just my thoughts on the whole situation. I personally don't really pre-order stuff except for when it's something that can run out of stock. So with that being said, yeah, of course, make sure to share your thoughts with me in the comments. And for now, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a quick like to help support my channel, and hope to see you again next time.